Who needs market movers when the data already exists for free, right? False. I've got 5 reasons why every collector and investor should go sign up for market movers right now, today on Data Dive. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Data Dive powered by Market Movers. My name is Tyler Nethercott, better known as Teapot, here today to do a little shameless promotion of the brand new Market Movers X. And I hope you'll stick around to hear what I have to say and to see what I have to show. Don't run off, this is gonna be a great episode. From time to time I hear people say something to the effect of, why would I pay for Market Movers when I can just get the data for free myself? Well, there's many reasons, and I'm going to get into those in a moment. But first, a little bit of backstory might be good. 3 years ago in December of 2019, I messaged Jeff Wilson on the Sports Card Investor Discord about building a data tool. I had been keeping track of all my card values in a fairly sophisticated spreadsheet, which linked out directly with custom queries that I wrote myself to eBay. Now, much to my delight, Jeff responded and he said he was already working on one, and he got me into beta testing in early 2020 before the product first launched. It was the first product of its kind to the market, and it launched with just a few hundred cards in the database, which leads me to reason number 1 why everyone should want market movers. We now have over 1 million cards in our database. These are cards that we are actively tracking values on daily, and that does not include the almost 4,000 sealed wax products that we're also tracking. You see, while there are other data tools on the market, there's a reason why not everyone's doing this, and there's a reason why we have the largest database by far of cards pulling in pricing. It takes time, it takes knowledge, and it takes a lot of dedication, and that's the things that my team definitely brings to the table. If you have ever tried to write your own specific query on eBay for Prism or for a select card, for example, you know how much of a pain it is to try and remove all the different competing variations, inserts, autos, mem cards, etc. So we do the legwork for you on all of this. We're talking about thousands and thousands of hours by our data team, myself included, researching and refining queries to pull in just the right data, not too much, not too little, so that the results match up and you can track prices with 95 to 100% accuracy on those cards. So what, you say? So what? You don't need that help. You can write those queries yourself, and you can save them as eBay searches or track them in a spreadsheet like I used to do. So why should you use market movers? Reason number 2 is price history. We give you more than 90 days of price history. Our data starts building from the moment that it gets added to our database. So in some cases, the pricing goes back as far as 2019 when we first started working on this product. Let's take, for example, Luka Doncic's Prism base rookie as an example. Now, I'm on eBay. If you go out to eBay and you put in a fairly refined search query, a really well-written query, which by the way is limited to a certain number of characters when you search directly on eBay's website, this is what you're gonna see. Just a listing of different prices and different auctions that have ended recently. Is this helpful? Does this give you perspective? Is this truly how you can research a card? You can see what a card sold for recently. You can see the last sales average. You can sort through hundreds and hundreds of Luka base cards that have sold in the last 90 days. You can even go out to Terapeak. If you have an account and you've sold on eBay, you can go to Terapeak and use their seller tools to get up to a year of history on a card. But let's jump over and look at what Market Movers shows you. So this is the 90-day history visualized. This is 90 days on Market Movers, showing you that you can see a chart. You get a much better perspective. A picture is worth 1,000 words, like they say. So you can see the price fluctuations, and honestly, overall, this card looks like it's mostly holding steady. You're talking about a low of $330 up to a high of $390. Some price volatility, we see that all the time, depending on the time of week and the day and how many other auctions are competing. But you can go deeper than that. Let's go to the last 365 days. This is called perspective, right? This is more than the last 90 days. Now those peaks and valleys that we saw before, they don't even look like anything. They look like gentle ripples because we can see that this card, not so long ago, less than a year ago, was up as high as $790. And this is what Market Movers brings to the table, but it doesn't stop there. Like I said, we go back even farther than that. Click on all data, and this is where the story really gets compelling, right? You can see the peak of the market, those periods when things got what we would call euphoric around Luka, around sports cards, around basketball cards, around Prism base cards, around PSA 10s. Everything converged into this, peak, and that was back in, right in the summer of 2020. We saw this dip and then the really big surge into, the Christmas time. And depending on the sport, some of those highs carried into that March of 2021. And that's when collectively the market really started to cool off. But it's really valuable information and perspective to go, I have more than 90 days of history here. I have a precedent to look even at 180 days and see, okay, where was this card last year heading into the playoffs, to give me an idea if I'm bullish on the market as a whole and people putting money into sports cards, and I'm high on Luka, who once again is one of the MVP favorites going into this season. You can look at his cards, and not just his Prism base cards, but other cards to see what that's going to look like. And let me take you to another example and show you. If I just put in up here Luka Doncic and I start scrolling, I can just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. We have thousands, literally thousands of Luka Doncic cards in this database that we're continuing to track. Many, many, many of his rookie cards. So if you want something a little more off the beaten path, if you want something more obscure that wouldn't even have sales history in the last 90 days on eBay, you can look and use Market Movers to find that card and to add it to your collection and track that pricing. So this is a perfect example. I want to jump to another one, and let's take a look at Cooper Kupp. Again, last 90 days here. You could search this on eBay. This is his Prism, Prism Silver PSA 10. And so you look at this and you see some price volatility and you think, okay, well, this card's really kind of come crashing down. It was up to start the season at $237. Kupp's having another great season so far. Unfortunately, the Rams, not so much. My boy Matthew Stafford, not so much. So this card has come down, and now it's down to $176. So you think, well, it's pretty low. Is the high on this card what it was to start the season, $237? Let's look at the last 365 days. And let's go back to that Super Bowl run. Kupp was one of the Cinderella stories last year. He was one of the guys who actually broke the mold of much of the rest of the sports card market, especially the NFL last year, and his prices went up during the season. This card hit a high. Granted, take it with a grain of salt. It was a one-day high, 13 sales on that particular day, of $581 as an average sale. So to see that card having come down to $176, I'm not telling you what to do with that data, but I'm telling you that you can make informed decisions using that. You can look at the price history. You can look at how many times this card has sold over time to see sales velocity. And if you're astute and you know how to use that type of data, this is extremely, extremely valuable. I'm going to look at one more. I'm going to look at Vinicius Jr., the Brazilian phenom, obviously getting ready for World Cup. 90-day history. This is a great card. His 2018 Donruss Optic Holo. Everybody loves the Optic Holos. This is a PSA 9. This is a Pop 117 in a PSA 9, and only 2 sales in the last 90 days. It doesn't sell frequently. So you think looking at this card right now, oh, it's $188, but boy, it was $135. I'm not sure if I want to make a decision around this if you're really high on Brazil and on his role with that Brazilian team going into the World Cup. Again, perspective, and here is where you're going to see volatility, right? You can see right now, this card sold end of July was the last sale on this card for $188. But the precedent historically, and this is earlier this year, similar economic situation, $314, $320, $300. So you see some prices well above where this card is now. To me, that says, if I'm really high on Vinicius Jr., and if I want to play the short-term game especially, there's some opportunity to watch these cycles, especially heading into World Cup, to potentially make a play if I can find one of these for a price close to that. Again, this is all depending on what you're targeting. You're going to come into a product like this, and you can do one of two things. You can start exploring using price movements, just searching for a player and looking to see what cards they have. Or you can come in very targeted and say, I saw this card at a show, or my buddy has one of these, or it's one I've had in the top of my mind for a long time, and I'm gonna start looking for the right time to buy and see which grade and which version has the best opportunity. You can't do this, at least not easily at all, with eBay data unless you're doing some kind of independent scraping and aggregating on your own, and even then, it's not gonna look as sweet as Market Movers X does. So reason number 3, why you should use market movers, price alerts. This is one of the tools that honestly, we probably haven't talked about enough, but it's one I use all the time. See, I have a little bit of that squirrel brain sometimes. We got a lot of competing priorities. I have 4 little ones at home. Got a lot going on, trying to build a market, tool. Let's say that I just snagged one of these Vinny Juniors for $157 back on 6/26. And I wanna know, with the volatility that we're seeing here, if and when this card gets back to $220 or more so that I can sell it. I'm gonna click on this card. I'm gonna come in here and click on this little bell icon, which is the price alert, and I'm gonna set this price alert, and I'm gonna say above $220, add. And then I'm gonna come up here to the alerts tab, and I'm gonna look, and there's the card. There's the price alert that I set for this card, $220, active. This is gonna do 2 different things for me. If that card sells for above $220, I'm gonna get an email that says, hey, this card sold above your price threshold, and that's gonna be a trigger for me to say, now I might wanna move it. If I have the mobile app for Market Movers installed, I'll also get a push notification when that happens. These are 2 mechanisms to take, this is like a little reminder system, right? Even things that you're targeting maybe 3 months ago, far out, you're prospecting, you're kind of preparing for the future. Set these price alerts for targets, and then kind of like the old Ronco rotisserie chicken, set it and forget it, right? You can do the flip side thing too. Let's say I wanna buy one of these, but only if it drops below a certain price. I come in here and I'm gonna say, hey, you know what? Tell me if this card drops below 140 bucks. There, I've updated my price alert. I'm gonna get that notification when that happens. Price alerts are extremely, extremely valuable. Okay, so reason number 4, why I would be using market movers, price movements. Now I'm gonna jump over to price movements. We've pretty significantly overhauled this page. We've done a lot. You can easily toggle now. This used to be 4 separate pages. Now you can toggle between player and card. You can toggle between price movements and sales volume. There's a lot of flexibility all baked into one place here. What I love to do is to come into price movements and look for the players and the cards that have gone down the most in value, because that might be a buying opportunity. That's what I'm looking at. So I like the 90-day or the 180-day price range. You're talking about a few months of decline for a card before it might start to swing up. So I'm just gonna scroll down. That's what I've done here. I've put in rookie cards only, graded cards only, minimum number of sales 50. I'm looking for something that has, a player that has some regular traction behind them. And scrolling down, and I see Moritz Seider, the Red Wings phenom. I'm a Red Wings fan in the first place. So even in terms of looking for a PC card, maybe that's what I wanna do. I'm gonna click on this little button over here. That's gonna navigate me over to the cards for that player. And I'm gonna reset the number of sales here down to 1. So now it's gonna show me all of his cards, and I've got them all in a descending order here, and I can make a decision. Okay, do I wanna buy one of these? Obviously the Young Guns. That's the card, for hockey that a lot of people go after. If you disagree, don't beat me up too much in the comments, but that is the flagship rookie card. Let's take a look at this PSA 10. I can pop it out. Right at my fingertips, I get all this data right here. Current price, $307. The starting price, $399. That's a 23% decrease in the last 30 days for these stats. I can see completed sales by day, all this information, right? Then I can click on this chart to get this very quick view of what's been happening with his card prices over time. And I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit more. And what I can see here is that it looks like Seider's been on a little bit of a free fall, but we're getting ready for the season. The Wings looked at least competitive last year. They've got some young talent. They've got Steve Yzerman helping rebuild the organization. So what else might I be looking at here? Oh, pop count growth. This is a relatively recent rookie card. How quickly are the pop counts growing up? Because we know that when a card comes out early, it's gonna be high when there's not very many of them graded. And then over time, you're starting to saturate the market with the number available, which can create price pressure downward. I'm gonna click on the pop count here, and here it's gonna show me what's been happening with these population counts over time. And again, I'm gonna zoom out, I'm gonna go last 180 days. And I can see that this card is quite literally going from 0 to 60 and beyond pretty quickly. So we're back at 0 back in July, and then the pop counts start ticking up. And if I'm looking in the last, let's say even the last 2 weeks, this card has gone from a pop count of 185 up to a pop count of 312. So the young guns are starting to get through PSA's backlog as they're getting through their bigger backlog. Well, maybe I say I want to pump the brakes on this. I want to see how he's going to do this season. I don't know how many more of these are going to be hitting the market, and I don't want that factor working against me. So I'm actually going to say no to buying a Moritz Seider Young Guns rookie card right now. But again, this is all the information that's right at your fingertips in one place. It's performant, it's easy to use, it looks good. You can take this, if you do buy one, quickly add it to your collection. You can favorite the card to keep track of it over time. You can shop for it right away. All of these things make that integrated experience really, really easy. Whether this is for investment purposes or just a PC card because you're a big Red Wings fan. And that leads me, last but not least, to reason number 5 to use market movers. And this is a little bit, kind of playing on my heartstrings, but it's just to support us in our mission as an organization. This one is really about who we are at SCI and what we're trying to do. And look, we have our fair share of haters and detractors. Some of you watching this might be among that crowd. Maybe you'll leave me a wonderful comment down below that I can look forward to not taking too personally. But the vast majority of those of you who comment, and especially who we've gotten a chance to meet in person at card shows and other places, have been especially awesome. There have been tons of kind words, positive interactions these last few years, and it's really been overwhelming and awesome and humbling. I've spent my career in finance and data, and I never expected to be making YouTube videos, yet here we are. I may not be the big personality that Jeff and others are, but I do try to keep it real, and that is right in line with our mission. See, we're trying to do a handful of really important things. Number one, we're trying to inspire and to evangelize. We have our YouTube content, we have card show activations, we have our free card kit repacks to try to get the youth engaged and involved in the hobby. We put on the virtual sports card conference every winter and try to bring in a ton of great interviews and personalities and live stream. Another one of our goals is to create community. We've set up our sports card investor Discord, we have our social channels, we do live streams, again, we're at card shows. We're also trying to educate. We did the SCI University, and that is a big part of my mission with these Market Movers videos, is to do that and to use data to make smart decisions. And then finally, we're trying to entertain. And again, our video team is second to none in my opinion, and I'll say that from the mountaintops. We've got awesome videos, we keep it light, we do fun things, we show you slabs, we're doing so many different things. And all of this we try to do with some humility, with authenticity, and that's where getting to meet so many of you in person has been so rewarding. We get a lot of that feedback that you guys are just really down to earth. We're just like you. We're trying to be open and honest with everything, and we're trying to give you data at your fingertips, like how I emailed Jeff a few years ago and said, I need this, the hobby needs it, and it's what we're trying to do. So your support is what really enables us to do what we're doing every day. And for myself and a few dozen other employees who get to live, frankly, our dream jobs every day working in the hobby we love, we're really, really grateful for that. So we're trying to bring value, and that's our mission, and we wouldn't be able to do that without all of your support. That does it for this week's video. If you'd like to support us, if you'd like to give Market Movers a try, just head over to marketmoversapp.com and use promo code DIVE for your first 7 days free. The prices start as low as $9.99 per month, and if you're already a member, a very, very sincere thank you, whether you're brand new or you've been with us since the beginning. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy investing.